Hello everybody, welcome back to Planet X News. It is June 5th, 2019. And ladies and gentlemen, we have all kinds of things going on around the United States and around the world. And specifically, I've been watching over the last couple of days a series of earthquakes in Southern California and also in Nevada. So we're going to be getting into some of those details. We're also going to be talking about all of the Mississippi River flooding. And there is a lot more to come, folks, let me tell you. We're also going to be talking about these internet outages and cell phone outages, and they are going to continue. So you might want to get used to that, and I don't think there's any end in sight for that, but we're going to touch base on that also. We are going to touch base on these three very large activity zones on the sun. We've been waiting for these to rotate back around, and these were directly associated with the sunspots that we were watching several weeks ago, 2740 and 2741. These active regions that we're looking at now, they are no longer sunspots. However, I've been watching them for the last 3 days as they've been rotating around from the eastern limb of the sun, and there is a lot of filament activity. They're just very, very active, but I've put together some short video clips from HelioViewer in high definition, and we're also going to learn about some of these things on the sun that I actually watch. So consider this to be a little bit of a learning lesson on the sun. Look, here's the deal, folks. You know, the sun, I always refer to it as a beautiful creature. The sun giveth life, the sun taketh life away. And that's very, very possible. But I don't think that is the situation that we're looking at today. But again, remember, as I always say, knowledge is power. Nobody can take that knowledge away from you unless you get a bump on the head and you suffer from amnesia. One thing you won't ever forget is me and Planet X News. But we're going to also touch on some other subjects. I want to preview a few other YouTube channels in the truth movement. Now, you know, folks, normally I'm very critical of other people on YouTube, the internet, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, because I feel a lot of times, you know, some of these folks like to sensationalize things just for YouTube views, but they're not really real hardcore truthers. They're just not. I am. And several of these other folks are. And I'm going to ask all of you today to subscribe to their YouTube channels, help them out, watch their videos, listen to what they have to say, and show your support. That's the biggest thing, folks, is showing your support. Just watching a video, yeah, that's cool. You know, give it a thumbs up. That's cool also. But a lot of these other YouTube channels, I don't know. You know, I don't know where they get their material. I don't know, you know, what they're really out there saying to folks. I don't know if they actually do legitimate research. You know, it's easy to make a video and talk about anything, whatever. But if you want to consider yourself a hardcore truther and you have people that are relying on you for critical information, then by damn, you better be telling the truth and you better be doing your homework because people rely on it. I have an update, actually. I got an email from the family down in Texas that I became friends with. They were tornado victims, Roy and Kathy. And they're actually doing pretty good. they were actually, check this out, they were actually able to salvage some things from the tornado damage of their home, even though it was completely obliterated. It just so happens right behind their house was a big opening, a big open field, and Roy told me that a housing developer had cleared that land, and they were going to be building 100 new homes there. So a lot of the debris, the way that the tornado came in, it kind of blew a lot of their belongings and their neighbors. It blew all of their stuff backwards into that huge open field. And a few days ago, they were over there with an insurance company, and one of their neighbors who had a lot of damage to their house, their roof was completely ripped off. And they've all known each other for a very, very long time. And the neighbor drove up in his pickup truck, and he told Kathy and Roy, hey, come over here, I got something for you. And lo and behold, he found 3 of their family photo albums. Because remember, Kathy and Roy have 2 kids, 2 boys, and she's pregnant with a little girl on the way here very, very soon. And we actually talked about, their lives being erased. And, it happened to me when I had a fire many years ago. Photo albums of mine that my grandmother put together throughout all of my life, from the day I was born to the day I graduated from high school. All of that was lost. And that's very tragic, and that hits you right here in the heart, and that stays with you forever. Well, the gentleman rolled up in his pickup truck. He had a couple of their photo albums, and he found them. Some of the pictures were missing. The photo albums were a little wet. Some of the photos were damaged, but the majority of them, their photos from their wedding, even their engagement, their children's birthdays, their births, all of these good times that they documented were found. And that just really, once again, we were talking on the phone, and, Kathy, she started crying a little bit, and I'm like, stop it right now. You're going to cause me to get choked up, and that whole tough guy routine kind of goes out the door. But they were actually loading up some of the things that they were actually able to find out in that huge piece of land. And they found quite a few things, and they were able to get out there and salvage a lot of things. And they have a small rider U-Haul truck that they were putting some of their belongings in and things of that nature. And Roy said, yeah, man, he goes, I was able to save my riding lawnmower. He goes, that's going in the back of the truck. Thank God. I just bought that thing. And I know how he feels. I just bought a riding lawnmower myself a few weeks ago, $2,000, man. They're not cheap. But, some good things are actually starting to happen. And they're going to be leaving Texas in a couple of days. And they're going to be moving up to Fairmont, West Virginia. Roy's company gave him a promotion. He works in the gas and oil well drilling industry. So that's cool. Once they get all settled in, probably, I don't know, if they're all settled in by the 4th of July, I might drive down there and spend the 4th of July with them, because I'm looking forward to some of that real Texas barbecue, man. Let me get the live chat going. Let's see who is up early with me having some coffee. I've been up since 2 a.m. I've got so much work to do. Let's get that moving. Bear with me 1 second. Alrighty then. Yeah, folks, and I've been kind of busy down at my shop. Some days that, gets into a 12-hour day. That's why sometimes I do these live streams early in the morning before I leave and head out for a few hours down there. But yeah, there's something else I want to touch base on. A few days ago, somebody pointed out to me about a video live stream from Dr. Tamitha Skov. And if none of you know who Dr. Tamitha Mulligan Skov is, well, she has a YouTube channel, and she is the space weather woman. And I like Tamitha. She's pretty cool. I like watching her space weather updates. I follow her on Twitter and on Facebook. And, I've learned a few things from her over the years. She was doing an educational live stream back in the middle of April, I believe it was. And she doesn't do very many of these live streams, but she does some pretty good reporting. She has the whole green screen thing going on, and her videos are cool. She's a very educated woman also. She knows her stuff. But during one of her live streams, when she was doing like a 2-hour live stream, educating her followers on stealth CMEs and CMEs in general, naturally, when this video was pointed out to me, this individual said, "Hey, Scott, you might want to check this out." Dr. Skov mentioned Dr. Albers. I said, "Oh, really? Let's check this out." So I started watching the live stream rerun, and naturally it has the live chat replay. Oh, lo and behold, 30 minutes into the live stream, who do I see in the live chat? Oh, some of those notorious Planet X News troll babies. Yeah. One's pretty notorious. He's a complete idiot. And, maybe someday I'll get the opportunity to face him face to face. Probably not, though, because he lives in another country. But anyways, he was in the live stream, and, he was kind of stirring the pot. And Dr. Skov was, she was actually taking some questions. And one of the questions was, what do you think about Dr. Claudia Albers making a mockery of solar dynamics? Wow. I never knew that Dr. Albers was making a mockery of solar dynamics. I have the video. I edited this portion out so we can take a look at it. I do commend Dr. Skov for being professional and not being like these other YouTube scum and saying bad things about Dr. Albers. Scientists, people in academics, they normally don't do that. Every now and then, somebody will, but normally they don't do that. They don't talk badly about each other. They may disagree, but they don't slam each other. You leave the slamming up to me. So I have emailed Dr. Skov before. I actually emailed her last year some photographs that I captured on the cactus. I wanted to know what she thought, because they were clearly showing this large Planet X object. We refer to it as Planet X, and I believe this was maybe last September. I think it was September 2018. Beautiful capture of this object during a CME. I wrote to her, and it took her about a month to get back to me. And when she did, she basically said that, she doesn't and can't get into conspiracy theories, and the object that I was showing her in that cactus image, she could not explain, and left it at that. Folks, we've been over this many, many times before. I get the question all the time, oh, why aren't scientists talking about this? Why aren't all of the astronomers around the world talking about this? Why do they not talk about this in astrophysics? Well, here's the deal, folks. You know, if all of you don't know what happened to Dr. Albers, let me refresh you. Back in 2016, she was starting to research this subject matter. She started seeing things in her sky when she was living in South Africa, and they weren't normal. A lot of you do not know that, Dr. Albers is a very, very smart and intelligent woman, and was so as a child. By the age of 9, she wasn't playing with baby dolls. She was reading books about space and astronomy. By the age of 12, she built her own telescope. At the age of 12, her mom and her father helped her get the things that she needed, and she built her own telescope. Whenever she was going to go to college, it was unfortunate that the college that she was attending at the time did not offer an astronomy course, because that was her first passion. So she decided to take up physics, and then later on lead into some astrophysics and astronomy. And that's where she found her passion as a theoretical particle physicist. And there are many, many famous theoretical particle physicists out there. So, people will say that, oh, she doesn't have any idea what she's talking about, blah, 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 blah. Listen, let me refresh your memory. Dr. Albers has 3 bachelor's degrees and 2 master's degrees. Okay? I think that qualifies her to speak on many of these subjects. She's very highly trained. Just because you don't agree with her or you don't understand her doesn't mean that she's wrong. Now that she is no longer employed at the university because, she was ousted from, basically writing some of these reports. These troll babies, they contacted the university, they called, they sent emails to the head of the college, the university, and they basically scared the university. The university, Wits University, had already gone through some publicized snafus the year before. I'm not even going to get into that. But it had nothing to do with Dr. Albers, but it was causing some waves at the university. So after that got put to rest, they figured, oh my, well, we don't want another, we don't want any more problems here at the university. We don't want to be back in the news again. Because these troll babies, now I'm not even going to mention their names, they're scumbags that are still on YouTube. And they sent email after email after email, and they were harassing the dean of the university. Dr. Albers had been there for 17 years. 17 years as a professor. And just before she left South Africa, Dr. Albers wrote 3 abstracts, submitted them to the National Physics and Astronomy Convention that is held in Johannesburg every year. 3 of them were related to observations that she was making on the Solar Dynamics Observatory and in direct relation to our planet X. Yeah, Out of those 3 abstracts that she submitted to their committee, they offered and invited her to speak publicly at the convention on 2 of those abstracts. Yeah. Put that in your troll baby pipe and smoke it, why don't you? So, the problem is at this particular time in 2017, things started occurring and happening to Dr. Albers at the university and while she was at home. And at the time, we did consider these things life-threatening because many scientists over the years have been killed, murdered, or made out to be that they died of some kind of illness. We can resort back to, Dr. Robert Harrington and the discovery of Planet X, what he was watching from New Zealand through a very large telescope. He was the chief naval astronomer for the United States government. The man was in perfect health, never smoked a cigarette in his life. But unfortunately, after he made this huge discovery, he suddenly died of esophageal cancer in New Zealand. Oh, yeah, baby. So, this isn't the first time that people in science have been taken out. I don't think it happens too much now. But back in the 80s and the 90s, this is what they did. They silenced you. Now, you see this being done in politics. Yeah. I'm not even going to mention the people's names that are up to that kind of crap. But yeah, so that's what happened with Dr. Albers. And for her safety, I said, listen, let's get you here to the United States. She was supposed to speak at this physics conference 2 days in a row on July 3rd and 4th. But things were getting too bad in South Africa. She did fear for her life. I feared for her life. So we immediately got her on a secret flight all the way around the world and here to Pittsburgh to start a new life and do what she wants to do. Speak freely and write freely about what she thinks. And again, a lot of you may not agree with her. You may not understand her. That's perfectly fine. But I'll tell you this much. You better damn well respect her for all of her academic accomplishments. Okay? Because this is a woman who gave her life to teaching. And some troll baby scum on YouTube were responsible for ending her 17-year career. She actually wanted to go on teaching for another 10 years. But these scumbags ended that. So now a lot of you know why I have a bad taste in my mouth the majority of the time when it comes to people here on YouTube that spread lies and mistruth. They're not hurting themselves, folks. They're hurting you. You. And you should take offense to that. You really should. So, over the last year, Dr. Albers has freely written reports and books about what she wants to. She doesn't have to worry about a university censoring her or telling her what books to use in her classes. Yeah. See, that's why mainstream scientists here in the United States and abroad won't touch this subject. Why? Because it's considered a conspiracy. But it's not a conspiracy. For God's sakes, we have the observational evidence, and it's still coming in. We see all of the issues here on Earth. We're living them now. I told all of you, for the last 3 years, I detailed these things, and I told you eventually we're going to be getting into these things very, very soon. And here we are. It is what it is, folks. But these other scientists, they're not going to talk about it. Here's why. They all have $100,000 plus year a job. They have a job that pays them very, very well. Probably all of them have children. Probably getting close to going to college themselves, these kids. They have mortgages. They have car payments. And some of them work for NASA or other aeronautic and aerospace companies where they have very, very specific non-disclosure agreements. And Dr. Scove is one of those people. And I'm going to show you her background. It's pretty impressive. And this is nothing against her. I like what she does. She is an educator. She is an instructor. She is just like Dr. Albers. But they're on two different sides of the fence. If Dr. Scove was able to speak freely without her career being in jeopardy, then, well, we may possibly see her start looking into what we look into. But when you're cruising on a $150,000 a year salary, and you live in a $500,000 home, and you got a nice car and a good retirement plan, what do you think you're going to do? You think you're going to rock that boat, baby? Hell no. You're going to sit pretty. You're going to do your job. You're going to keep your mouth shut. And you're going to run out the clock. It's plain and simple, folks. That goes all the way through even into medicine. Doctors make big discoveries. But you know what? Because of big pharma, some of these cures, some of these medications, some of these treatments, they get tucked under the rug. Yeah. Just like energy, man. We already know that we should have free energy around the world. But they're not going to give it to us. Why? Because it wipes out the utility companies, which is big money. It wipes out the fossil fuel companies, oil and gas. And guess what? There goes all the billionaires' money. Yeah. So, enough of that. But I'm going to show you this video clip. And I want you to see. Watch Dr. Scove's body language. She was actually caught off guard, and I actually feel bad for her that one of these scum trolls threw this question at her, and she really wasn't expecting it. And I wrote her an email yesterday, or the day before, wrote her a very long email, and I even expressed that I appreciated her professionalism and the way that she handled that situation. But I want to show it to you guys. Okay? Here's another thing. People on YouTube that claim to be in this truth movement are not always telling the truth. Maybe because they don't do enough homework. Maybe they don't do enough research. I don't know. But I could see through a lot of these people. Whenever I was in college, I had a professor who was he was a retired FBI profiler. He's the one who actually pointed out Planet X research to me in 1990. And by 1991, when I was graduating, I was hooked. And I kept on, investigating, keeping up on information. But then I got into a 20-year career. And but I still dabbled here and there. And as technology has gotten better, things have become more clear. But my professor was a human lie detector. He was a retired FBI profiler, and he himself studied body language. That was part of my course. What does body language have to do with marketing and business? It has a lot to do with it, because when you are face to face with a multi-million-dollar company, you need to read these people. If I'm putting on a presentation or I'm talking to a board of directors or an advertising board, I need to be able to read those people. I need to be able to read their faces. And I became very, very good at it. And I used it throughout my entire career, and I still use it today. I'm like a human lie detector. I can tell just by listening to your voice. And if I get to see your face while you're talking, well, look out. So not too many people are able to get by lying to me. When I watch people's YouTube videos and I see them looking into the camera, whether they're reading a document or they're reading a news report, I can tell whether they believe it or not, or they're just like, okay, this makes for some good content. Let me make a damn video. So, as I was watching Dr. Scove in this video clip, which we'll get to, and I'm sorry for being so long-winded, but this has to be, I have to lay things out for you so you understand it. I did notice that she did feel uncomfortable, and there were several points within that video clip that she had to think about what she wanted to say. Let's watch it. Let me get on out of here. Let's check it out. I hope she don't mind. I hope she don't mind me using this.
I realize this is a serious presentation, but how do you view people like Dr. Claudia Albers, who makes a mockery of solar dynamics? To each his own, you know. I mean, I figure that the people that are going to be drawn to her, and others that do the same thing, that like to do conspiracy theories or like to do sensationalistic journalism, if that's what you want to call it, I figure that you know, that kind of clears the way for the rest of us to just join and be part of a community that really cares to know the truth and know what we know and know what we don't know, and all kind of work together to forward this field in a rational way. So in a sense, I maybe I'm grateful for people like her, because then she can take those people out of the picture so that we have less of them here with our community, especially as we continue to grow and we continue to spread the good word about, you know, where the science is going, where it's deficient, and where it needs to responsibly proceed, you know, to better life on Earth and better our understanding and our ability to keep ourselves safe. I mean, because that's, if there's one thing that you've learned probably about me, if you've been with me for a long time, is that I'm an academic, right? I'm a scientist. So I have a whole group of people that I work with in my professional life who want to forward academia, who want to be on the cutting edge of science and want to be able to forward the science as fast as possible. But with you guys, and really what's become a passion of mine, is really to drive another aspect of this field in the direction that you need most, right? That serves you best. And drive it in the direction of weather, right? Because it's the same thing. It's like, what's the point of pushing the science of weather if it doesn't help people who are actually having to experience it and deal with it, right? You know, what's the point of designing the best umbrella in the world if you never allow people who are actually in a rainstorm to use it, right? So that's really where my passion lies, is that, okay, let's design a great umbrella, but why don't we ask the people who actually have to live through the rainstorms what they need? And so that becomes my passion. And so all the other people who do this conspiracy stuff and talk about Nibiru and all these other like crazy mystical things, okay, great. But what does that have to do with my daily life? And what does that have to do with people who are just trying to get through their day-to-day job? I prefer to have those people go off and do that type of stuff over there and leave us, free to really work on what we think matters. And so hopefully that answers that question.
Well, alrighty then. Alrighty then. Let me just go ahead and set this video up here, folks. So you see what I mean? Did you watch her body language? And Dr. Scove, if you ever happen to watch this piece of video, I love you, baby. You do a great job, and I definitely appreciate your intelligence, and I also appreciate your professionalism. But before we get to all of this information on these active areas on the sun, we refer to them as ARs, active regions. So if you ever hear me slip up and just use that terminology AR, it simply means active region. But let me get out of here real quick because I wanted to show you guys something, and I almost forgot. And if you guys want to subscribe to Dr. Scove's YouTube channel, I think it's a good idea, because she's an educator. Number one, that's what she does on her YouTube channel. She talks about the sun, the things that are going on, and it is a good learning curve for all of you. So it's just something else to put in your bucket as far as knowledge goes. You see her name up there, Dr. Tamitha Scove, S-K-O-V. You could type it in your YouTube search. She has a website. She's on Twitter. She's on Facebook. And she does periodic, at least once or twice a week, or when there's definitely something going on the sun, she will put some information out there. But I want to show you something else. Now, this was written by a staff science editor, and it's talking about Dr. Scove. I believe she is a doctor. Oh, yeah, she's a PhD. It talks about her career and where she works. And it states that Dr. Scove received a bachelor's degree in physics and physical chemistry and a master's PhD degree in geophysics and planetary physics from the University of California, UCLA. Hey, man, she went to a top school. What I found unusual is it says that she held a National Aeronautical and Space Administration space grant for her doctorate. NASA. NASA. She got a NASA grant to study for her master's. Then, she went on. It says Tamitha works primarily in the fields of solar and space physics research and in the testing of spacecraft materials in realistic space radiation environments. Okay. She is also an instructor at the Aerospace Institute and has served as an audio forensics analysis and instructor for the National Law Enforcement and Corrections Technology Center. Wow, that's a mouthful. She also worked for Lockheed Martin, or maybe still does. So, again, a woman at this level in her profession is not going to go down the road of any conspiracy whatsoever. And again, she did a really nice job of not, not saying any mean things about Dr. Albers. Yeah, let those people go over there and we'll stay over here. Okay, that's cool. But, this is her LinkedIn little bio. And she talks a lot on her YouTube channel about GPS and radio communications and things of that nature. And again, this woman is a top academia. She has a job to do, and she is not going to delve into a conspiracy theory, as she says, and a lot of people say. But if you've been watching this YouTube channel for some time, you know damn well now that it's not a conspiracy. We have the observational evidence. I've obtained it over the last 3.5, 4 years. I will continue. Bottom line. But I like Dr. Scove. She's a pretty cool lady. I enjoy watching her YouTube videos because they are informative. Now that we're all done with that stuff, I want to talk about these earthquake swarms in Southern California and Nevada. The earthquake swarms that are in Southern California, yeah, they're really not anything new. But this earthquake swarm in Nevada is kind of odd. I have the USGS up on the screen now. I've also loaded all of the earthquakes from point 0 up. And I've also loaded to show all of you all of the US faults, because that's what I was looking for. I actually wrote up an article about this 2 days ago. Or actually, no, yesterday. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here, and we're going to take a look. Now, I have all of these earthquakes loaded. It kind of slows down the USGS website. But let's look at Nevada, because this is where this swarm is. I'm going to go one more click, and we'll bring it in. Now, the biggest quake was only a 3.5, okay, as you can see in the lower left-hand corner of your screen. That's nothing major. But I'm going to bring this up here real close. You see this little thin red line right there? There's another one down below and another one down below. This very thin red line that you see here is an identified U.S. fault. Okay? Look at the activity near that fault line, and then look at the activity north of that fault line. Doesn't make any sense, does it? There are a lot of earthquakes. They call these swarms that occur, within a 7-day period like that, all in a regionalized area like you see on your screen now. Very, very odd. I don't know what the hell is going on there. I've seen this, time and time again, but I just don't understand what's going on there. I'm not a seismologist. Who knows? They're not really talking about it, which kind of makes me wonder what is going on. Just how my mind works. So that's what's going on in Nevada. And if we cruise on down here, let's get into California, Southern California. Right here, you have Long Beach, Santa Ana. Way down here, you have San Diego and Tijuana. But right here, I'll zoom in just one more click, because there have been several swarms all along this region here, but there are faults there. We would expect that. Here's the area that I was paying attention to, and this is where I got drawn to. So let me go ahead and just zoom it in. Oops, I went a little too far. Okay. Take a look at that swarm. And that's in a huge residential area. And again, if you take a good look at the screen, you don't see any faults. None. Zero. Nada. No faults. So this has been going on in a region, I think, east of Los Angeles. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. You can see, I mean, it's a pretty busy neighborhood there. You have a huge neighborhood right where this swarm is. You have schools, parks, houses. I mean, this is it's a pretty busy area. So I don't know exactly what's going on there. I don't know why that swarm is centralized right there. But it caught my eye a few days ago, and I've been watching it every couple of hours. I've been watching it to see how many more earthquakes are swarming there. And it's in the area of Rancho Cucamonga and Fontana and Riverside and Pomona, California. So you can see that. I mean, that's when you widen the map out, you really don't know what's going on there until you really zoom in. But I pay very, very close attention to all of the earthquake activity around the world. And again, as you see me backing out here, you don't see much of anything. We have a fresh earthquake right off the coast of Tijuana. Magnitude 4.3 just went off. See, and these are kind of unusual, folks. They normally just have these small quakes. Magnitude 1.5, 1.7, 2, 2.5, things of that nature. But when we see these swarms in southern Nevada and southern California like that, and they're not near any fault lines, any fault zones, it makes me start to wonder what is going on. I believe that there is another smaller swarm that was up here north of San Francisco. Oops, I zoomed in too much. The USGS site's really hard to navigate whenever you have all of this data, 7 days, all earthquakes, all magnitudes pulled up. It really lags their website. But here you go, and this is just north of San Francisco. This is up in the mountains. Look at the swarm of earthquakes. Let's click on one, see what the magnitude. 2.9, 2.9. Let's get in here. 2.8. And again, these really aren't huge earthquakes, but the only fault line is right there. That's it. One small fault. But all of the earthquakes seem to be swarmed just slightly north of it, and they're still going off. They're still going off. We actually see this same type of swarming pattern. This occurs all the time in the Pacific Northwest near Seattle. And they actually have their own seismic network that deals with all of those. The USGS does not put all of those swarming earthquakes around the Seattle and Olympia area. I believe the network is called the Pacific Northwest Seismic something. Dutch Sense uses it all the time, and he shows all of that data from around that area. But, just taking a look off the coast of Oregon and the state of Washington, you can see all of these small little fractures, all of these small little faults that are very, very close to the shoreline. And then when you go further west out into the Pacific, you bump into the Juan de Fuca fault that you see here. And then you get up here and you have the, let me back this off just one click. Then you get up here into the Cascadian Fault zone, which, everybody is always so fearful of the Cascadian Fault going haywire. Will it happen? You can guarantee it's going to happen. I think it's like 65 or 70 years overdue based on historical facts. So eventually, folks, something is going to happen. It's probably going to happen somewhere within that Juan de Fuca fault. And when it does, it is going to be catastrophic. It's going to be catastrophic for Seattle and some of the coastal communities of Oregon. There's a very, very quaint little town, seaside town. I believe it is actually called Seaside in Oregon. Absolutely beautiful. I wouldn't mind living there. But if anything happens in that Juan de Fuca fault zone, that town of, I believe it's Seaside, Oregon, is toast. It's gone. It will be wiped out forever. Wiped right off the map. The same thing could possibly apply to Seattle and those areas, because the way that Seattle is built and situated on the map, we'll go ahead and zoom in, and then we're going to start touching base on some other things here. Seattle is one big gigantic inlet. As you see down here, you have Seattle, Tacoma, Olympia, Washington. If you have anything that occurs, now there are faults all through here. There's faults right there. There are faults all over this area. Why you would build a major city there, like same thing with LA, I don't know. But it's too late. But if anything would ever happen, a large slip along this fault, this would be catastrophic. Not so much, if it was like a high 7, 8, 9 magnitude earthquake, the shaking would definitely do some damage. But the majority of the damage would be done from a tsunami. That tsunami would come directly into this inlet, and that's it. This whole entire inlet, all of this area would be flooded within minutes. And there really isn't anywhere to run. That's another big problem. The way that the geography is laid out in this area. I've watched many video reports from seismologists and geologists about this area. And it is of a very, very big concern. What do? Do you move? Do you just give up your life and you run? Hey, to each their own. But eventually, this area is going to have some big issues. And it's not going to be an issue that you're just going to recover from in a few months. It may be decades, or it could be possibly completely wiped out. They have big issues there, big issues. And the same thing applies for some of these coastal areas in Oregon. You see this inlet right here. All of these inlet areas would have major issues, major issues. I'm not sure where that one town of Seaside, I think it's called Seaside, Oregon. You guys could look it up, check it out. Beautiful community. I just watched a video report about them rebuilding a new hospital. Their hospital was like right by the ocean. And they feared that if anything would ever happen, the hospital would be wiped out. But what do? They build a brand new hospital. They build it 1 block away. Duh! So, again, I don't know. I don't know what gets into these people's minds. They know better, but what are you going to do? But, that's what I've been watching out there in California as far as these quakes go. And let's get out of here, and we're going to jump into this video And this video this is just some observations that I've been making on these 3 active regions on the sun. I put up a short video of what I captured yesterday. It was kind of late. I had not been in most of the day. I was very, very busy. But I just wanted to give everybody a heads up that this is what we have coming. And sure enough, and you can see these regions, and these used to be those sunspots that we were talking about 2.5 weeks ago. They fizzled out, but then they got around the back side of the sun, and what occurred? They came in contact with our Planet X objects, or these stellar core objects on the back side, and they were able to regenerate, but not regenerate as sunspots. They regenerated as ARs, or active regions. And then a third one popped up. Remember, a week ago I was saying a third one seems to be popping up right in the middle? Sure as hell, it's right there. And as I've been analyzing this and watching it, and getting as much visualization on it as I possibly can, I'm seeing very, very large, long filaments. And we'll get into what filaments are. So we'll catch a little education on what some of these phenomenon on the sun really are and what we can be exposed to. This activity that we have coming from the sun, not only from filaments and the coronal holes, this is affecting satellites, internet, and cellular communication. It has been for some time now. I'm going to start keeping up on the internet outages. It's pretty easy. And once again, you know, big outages all across the United States and different countries, mainly here in the U.S. Yeah, so sometimes these satellites will go into what we refer to as a safe mode to protect their electronics. If not, you know, a $500 million satellite looks like a piece of burnt toast if they don't protect it. So this is the region that we have going on right here. And I'm going to go ahead and let this play through. Let me have a sip of my coffee. Good stuff. So this is all turning towards us right now, folks. I'm not saying that we are in any imminent danger. But when we have solar regions like this rotating towards the Earth, yes, we do have to watch this. And I would advise all of you to start liking space weather. Start enjoying space weather, because as much as you watch, I'm going to stop that right there because I'm going to show you guys something. As much as you watch your daily weather on your Action News station, space weather is going to become part of your life. If you are a truther and you want to educate yourself, you want that power of knowledge up here, then learn about space weather. Learn about our star. You know, learning about the sun. I've been learning about the sun now for over 15 years, and I read a lot. It's a magnificent star. It gives us life, and like I said, it can take life away. So we do have to pay attention to the sun. Point being, the governments do. Why shouldn't we? I've always said, pay attention to what your government is doing, and whatever they're paying attention to, you should pay attention to. You know, it's not that big of a deal. You know, we all know that there's a bunch of other stuff that we don't know about. But that's why they put satellites up there. That's why they have a space program. That's why NASA has a heliospheric department. They watch the sun. But these areas, this area right here, this huge black dark area, and right here around this little active region right here, those regions were literally just blown out off of the sun's outer surface. And they're actually starting to fill in a little bit as this as the sun rotates. I'm going to go ahead and play that, but I wanted to point that out to you. Oh, what I wanted to show you guys real quick. We're going to talk about plasma loops so you guys learn some of this terminology. But you see this plasma loop right here. Right there. Folks, let me tell you, that is a far, far distance. That is a huge plasma loop. And it's jumping from one active region here, where my cursor is, over to another active region. And this is heavily charged plasma. It's very, very interesting. I mean, I love the sun. I should have went into heliospheric science instead of marketing. But I don't know. I don't know if I could be a stuffy scientist. Oh, I hope you don't take no offense to that, Dr. Albers or anybody. But yeah, I think I'm too rough around the edges to be stuck in a science office. But yeah, this is a pretty impressive plasma loop right there, and we'll get a better look at it. But all of these little areas that you see in yellow right here, and I developed this on HelioViewer, and I used some composite views so I can bring out more of the detail for you. So I do some pretty good work on HelioViewer. So we'll let this roll, and you're going to see one of these filaments snap. Let me see where I'll pinpoint it for you. You see all these little pops, and these are all breaking through the outer surface of the sun. Now, right there, let me just stop that. Right here, this real long, dark, almost looks like a rope. They actually do refer to it as a plasma rope. You'll see this, it will snap out. And, you know, these could be vicious towards the Earth, because some of these plasma ropes or filaments, they could be 100, 150,000 miles, 200,000 miles long, bursting outward. And that is hot plasma. And, yeah, that would be coming straight towards the Earth. Now, it's not going to wipe the Earth out. It's not going to burn down buildings. But it is detrimental to our electrical grid. So, again, we depend so much on electronics nowadays. That is the big threat. And that would wipe out power grids. Wipe out a power grid during a heat wave, which is actually happening in Southern California right now, and over in India, 122 degrees. Wipe out electrical systems, no air conditioning, and then what happens? People start dying of heat exposure. It's already happening. So, yes, those direct threats from the sun can boil down, no pun intended, but they can actually boil down to other catastrophic issues here on Earth that can take lives. It's that simple. So I'll go ahead and let this play, but you guys pay very close attention to these regions, and I'll let this play through. And then you'll see some of these plasma filaments. Now, this was a still photograph that I put in here because this gives us a better look. And this area right here where you see this black circle and this whole black region right here, From the coronal mass ejections that occurred on the backside of the sun 3 weeks ago, that literally, they were so powerful, thank God they weren't Earth-facing, but they literally blew the outer surface of the sun. They just blew it away. And that is what gets blown out into space. I think the sun is a fantastic and very interesting creature. This is another still photograph that I fixed on the 304 angstrom view. Let me just zip back to that real quick. The reason why I included this is so I can show you how large these three active regions are. Now this one's not too big, but this region here and this region here are pretty damn big. And you see this black line? Follow my cursor. You see that black line right there? That black line right there is a filament. That is a long, long stream of supercharged, super hot plasma. It looks like it's literally attached to the sun, but they actually do come out. And I've seen them extend out 150, 200,000 miles off of the sun. So it's very, very interesting. Same thing with this photograph, just showing you. You have to get into different angstroms of light so you can see these plasma filaments. And you will be able to see one snap, I believe. Is it on this one? Oh, yeah. Right here in this region. You'll see it right here. You'll see it kind of snap out a little bit. You have to watch kind of close. And there's a coronal hole opening right below here. Oh, yeah. You folks better join my private network. That's an order. Hey, listen, sign up for your emails. That's working out really, really good. Use your Gmail account, and you will get notifications on the articles that I've been writing and activity on our YouTube channel. This is a composite view of the SDO, once again, showing you these zones. And there was a really good shot of that plasma release, that plasma filament. Right there. Now, I know it doesn't look like much to you guys, and you're like, what the hell Scott's showing us? I don't even know, blah, blah, blah. But that one was kind of Earth-facing. And we may see some activity from that in a couple of days. It can, induce further issues on our Earth. Now, I want to show you guys something that was really, really cool. The reason why I included this kind of obscure view is you've heard me talk about cosmic rays before, and solar cosmic rays. They're very, very hard to detect. But as I was reviewing some of this info today and putting these views together for you today, for the first time, I saw a cosmic ray, a solar cosmic ray, shoot off of the sun. These cosmic rays from deep space, they batter our Earth on a daily basis. The cosmic ray influx to our planet has been increasing for many years now. It's actually getting to much, much higher levels. But for the first time on this angstrom of ultraviolet, extreme ultraviolet light, I was actually able to see one of these cosmic rays shoot out from the sun. And if you watch the screen very carefully, you're going to see it's very, very fast, but you're going to see this thin white line just come right out of the sun, right around, I believe it's right around in this region. and you're going to see it shoot off in that direction. And it's very rare to see this, but you'll see it. It happens so fast, guys. It's almost, I don't know if you guys can actually pick that out. Yeah, I'm sorry. It actually comes from up here. I'm sorry. It comes from up in this region. So I'll go ahead. I'll go back a little bit. I could actually slow that down. But you'll see it come from up here and shoot straight out. You see that? It's just like this quick, it looks like a meteor zipping by. But that was actually a cosmic ray, a solar cosmic ray, shooting off from our sun. It wasn't Earth facing, and that cosmic ray will travel through space for all eternity until those particles hit something. But I thought that was pretty amazing. I haven't seen that before, where I could capture something like that. Once again, this is just a different angstrom of light. I think this is 131, the 131, or I think that's it. Extreme ultraviolet light. You could see different things on the sun in different levels of ultraviolet light, and you could see that filament release right here, right in that zone. We'll go ahead and just back that up just real quick, and you could watch that. You'll see it. Oop, right about there. And I think the sun's a fantastic subject to talk about. And you can see in the 193, you could see it really, really good. You could see that pop. Now, what's going to happen in the next 24 to 48 hours, the next 5 days? That's really, really hard to say, folks. We have a stream of solar wind that just passed us about 36 hours ago. And there is another one. There's another one coming, but it's very, very slow. And it won't be here till about the 8th or 9th. And it's going to be pretty much a dead shot right on the Earth. And, that will probably induce some earthquakes around the world. We'll see. The Earth is very, very volatile right now. It's been getting that way for years. I've been telling people for a long time that this interaction with these objects that are now orbiting our sun, nobody wants to admit it, but the evidence is there. We're supposed to be in a solar minimum where the sun's just a blank disk. But as you can see, we have a tremendous amount of activity on the sun. A tremendous amount. Is this abnormal? I wouldn't go that far, because the sun is a star. But it does go through these periods of time like its solar minimum. We're just on the cusp of officially entering this solar minimum. And then we have to worry about a solar maximum. And during a solar maximum, look out. All of these regions that I'm pointing out to you now, they're polluted all over the sun. The problem lies in the weakening of our magnetosphere that shields the Earth from all of this. That is getting weaker and weaker. I was looking at the magnetopause this morning, several different models, and there were all kinds of contortions and fluctuations where the magnetopause is actually compressing backwards towards the Earth. When you have those compressions, it's something that's normal in nature between us and the sun, but at this given time, folks, everything's kind of stacking up like dominoes. You know, you just push that first domino and everything else collapses. Meaning, the more degradation that we have with our magnetosphere, the more harm that comes to the Earth. And that comes in the forms of now this crazy chaotic weather, earthquakes, volcanoes. We've had several big volcanic blasts over the last 5 days. All of these things are detrimental to our planet. We have human beings that live on this planet. You know, I mean, as tough as we think we are nothing more than blood, skin, tissue, and bones. And our lungs are very sensitive. So you get yourself in a volcanic blast zone. Well, if you start breathing in that ash, it's like powderized glass. And you'll die very quickly. So these are the things that I watch. But we do have this major interaction with another stellar object or objects that are interacting with our star. Whether people want to believe it or not, I've shown the evidence and I will continue to show the evidence. Things will gradually get much worse here on our planet. Is it going to kill all of us? No, I don't think so. Are we going to go through some very rough times here on this planet? You can guarantee that. That's a fact. Will mainstream media and your governments tell you about it? Probably not. Should you educate yourself about it? In my personal opinion, I think you should. If you're listening to me now, then you are already in that mode. You are now learning about the possibilities of what happens out there in space with our sun affects the Earth, and then it boils all the way down to affecting your life. Case in point, Roy and Kathy and their family in Texas. The tornado wiped them out, wiped their house out, and if they wouldn't have heeded my warning that day, they would have been in that house. And all of them might have lost their lives. So we all want to live. So I think the more education that we get, the better off we will be, and we will have a better understanding. And then you can take that education, take that knowledge, and pass it out. Explain things. These are also good educational things to discuss with your kids. You know, getting them into science. You never know. You may show your son or your daughter, young, they're growing up, they're in school, they have science class. Now you start explaining some of these things about the sun. You may turn something on inside of your child's brain, and they may become a superstar in the world of science. It's just turning on that little switch. But we definitely have some sparks flying on the sun this week, and this is going to travel across the face of the sun that faces the Earth over the next 5 days. I'm going to be keeping a very, very close track on it, and but again, folks, even though we watch it and I warn you about it, there's not much we can do about it. We are in the direct path of the sun. And again, the sun giveth life. The sun can taketh away that life. And but I don't think we'll be going down that path. But it's it's something that we're definitely going to need to watch. We will definitely see some more additional interference as far as outages go. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and bring that up. I have a few screenshots for all of you real quick. I just took this snapshot, maybe about 15 or 20 minutes before I started the live stream. This is for today. These are internet and cell phone outages, GPS outages, and you can see sporadically across the United States here. This may not affect everybody. This may not affect everybody's cell phone service or their internet provider. But the majority of what you see here, yeah, you may have some intermittent GPS problems, internet communication problems, cellular problems. But again, folks, what you're seeing here now, this is pretty much going to become part of your normal daily life. We're going to continue to see these outages, and as time goes on, the map that you're looking at here will start to become much more spotted. Why? Because we're going to have more and more and more of these outages. And again, if you just take it on all the way down the line, we have a couple of major heat waves hitting the United States. 100 degrees plus. So, if we lose electricity because of issues with the sun, electromagnetic pulses, blah, 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 bingo, you have no electricity. You're in a heat wave. It's 110. You have no air conditioning. People lose their lives. People succumb to that heat. So that's where it boils all down to affecting our lives. Boy, I don't know what I would do like that. Oh man, 100 and some degrees? Woo! Baby. Let's talk about these floods real quick. I just pulled this up. I took this snapshot just before we went on the air. This is for today. We're looking at the, Arkansas River, and the Mississippi River. All of those areas where you see the little purple dot, those are river reporting stations, gauges. That purple, if you look at the graph over to your right, that purple is major flooding. The red is moderate flooding. Ah, my damn nose is itching again. Ah. But you could see, woo, look out, man. Got moderate flooding all the way going up to the Dakotas, all the way down to Louisiana. Terrible, terrible, tragic circumstances that are occurring in the Mississippi River region, which covers a lot of states. And once again, folks, if you don't remember me talking about this in February and going into March, I forewarned about this that many months ago. What I was seeing setting up, I kept saying, oh boy, this is going to be the year of the floods. And sure enough. But see, folks, this isn't just happening here. Okay? This is happening in many, many other countries. Many other countries. The mainstream media here in the United States just doesn't show it to you. Why? Because it doesn't have anything to do with Donald Trump and our ridiculous government here in the United States of America. But these are tragic circumstances. And people are losing their lives, they're losing their property, their whole lives being flushed away. And again, this is just not happening here in the U.S. It's happening worldwide. You just don't hear about it. So, let me make this point. If all of this Planet X info was nothing more than a big damn conspiracy, then how in the hell have I been predicting and talking about these things for the last 3.5 years and telling you in 2016 and 2017 and 2018 that these things were going to start to happen? Oh, wait a minute. Where's my crystal ball? Oh, I don't have one. But this is based on real research and real knowledge and doing my homework. And it's not a conspiracy, folks. It's real life. So when people tell you that, oh, Planet X, oh, that's fake. Okay. Point them to my YouTube channel. Show them some of the photographs. Show them some of the videos. And you will clearly see it's not fake. It's not a conspiracy. Now, when you start talking about Nibiru, that mythological planet, that's a myth. That is a conspiracy. Look, folks, 25 years ago, the government put the whole story, maybe even longer than that, maybe even 30 years ago, the government put that whole story out there about Nibiru. Why? Because they knew that people would catch on to it sooner or later. That would become a big conspiracy. But guess what? They didn't foresee me coming along and making these discoveries that I've made. Yeah. Why do you think they censor my YouTube channel? We keep adding more and more and more subscribers every single day. But the view count keeps going down, 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 down. I don't care about the views. I care about notifying people, educating people, because everybody says, why is this happening? Why is this happening? Now the government rolls out, it's all due to climate change. My ass, it's all due to climate change. What changed the climate? Did it just freaking happen overnight? Hell no, it didn't happen overnight. It's been happening gradually since about 2007. But things are getting, let's just put it this way, things are ramping up. And again, one thing that I really didn't put into my equation was the fact that we were rolling into a solar minimum. Now that changes everything. Everything. And it is very serious. We have problems right now up in the Great Lakes. With the Great Lakes overflowing and flooding. We got wildfires burning like hell up in Alberta. And I wish the hell it would rain up there. But there doesn't seem to be any rain in sight. We still have the fire season to go through in California. Oh my God. I hope that doesn't happen. Because the way that the jet stream has been flowing through there and these wind speeds, that's the last thing that we need is a wildfire anywhere in the state of California and these heavy wind speeds. Look out. We have another year like last year and the year before. So, we have major issues on this planet. Are they all directly attributed to Planet X, these objects? You could drift on down the line through that domino effect. Oops. And sooner or later, you can make that connection. Because if you take that factor out, then maybe the majority of these catastrophes don't exist. So, somebody made a comment that Dr. Albers claims that everything is related to Planet X. A sinkhole opening up is related to Planet X. Our crazy chaotic weather is related to Planet X. Problems on the sun, problems here, earthquakes, volcanoes. Okay, that's pretty broad, but guess what? She's right. Yeah. Oh, just because a sinkhole opens up. Hey, listen, folks. Go back 10 years from now. Yeah, we had a sinkhole here, sinkhole there. We have them in Florida. Oh, my God. Now they're opening up, and they're massive. Massive. So what happened? What happened? Something changed. Oh, but we have another factor in that equation. What is that factor? So you see, people take what Dr. Albers says out of context. And I told her, I said, you know what? From now on, in your videos, blame everything on Planet X. Blame every damn thing on Planet X. Blame it all on Planet X, because you know what? Down the line, if you go down the line, leads back to one key point. Take that point out of the equation. What do you have? Yeah, you don't have these catastrophic problems here on our planet, do you? Do you? Aha, I thought you'd see my point. So this is where we're at with this flooding, folks. And this is not going anywhere. This is not going anywhere for weeks on end. Okay? Probably the next 2 weeks. Things may change, and we may get more water, more rain. But as of right now, the Mississippi and the Arkansas River, they're not going down anytime soon. And there will be catastrophic damage. There is already excessive damage to the farmland. We are going to definitely see increases in food costs. There is no doubt about it. No doubt about it. What I was going to do, folks, is I was going to go ahead and go over some of these terminologies for terminologies that I use here on my YouTube channel in relation to the sun. What I am going to do, I'm going to post these little information clips. I'm going to post them on the Planet X News Facebook page, and you guys can read them. If you are a member of the private Planet X network, I'm going to post this there also. And there are several of them. This one deals with solar prominences. It tells you what they are, what the effects are, where they come from. You have a visualization, which is pretty wild. Look at that. That's huge. That's 1,000,000 degrees of hot plasma, baby. So I'm gonna post these so you guys can check them out, read them. It will help educate yourself whenever I use these terminologies. This was on the filaments, and I created these all this morning, and I was going to read through all of these, but I know we're running into some time here, and I do have to get going. But again, this will help you understand what solar filaments are, and when I use the terminology, then you guys understand about it. I'm going to post all of these out there on the Planet X News Facebook page. It will also be on the private network. What I can also do is, for everybody who has joined up for our email alerts, I could put these in a newsletter and shoot them out to you, and you could open them up, save them in your computer, and refer back to them as much as you want. This one here is on coronal loops. These are just absolutely spectacular. I was showing you some of those in the beginning of this broadcast. And this is pretty cool too, because this gives you the regions of the sun. A lot of people speculate, does the sun have a core? Of course the sun has a core. Excuse me. What's going on under the surface of the sun? And there's a lot that goes on underneath the chromosphere. The chromosphere is that outer surface of the sun that we see on the SDO. And, oh, yeah, you have it right here. See the chromosphere. Underneath that chromosphere, we have the sunspots, the photosphere, and the subsurface. And the subsurface of the sun, way underneath there, it's flowing all around. A lot of people don't know that the orbital rotation of the sun is on average of 28 days, but at the equator, it's 30 days. And at the top, the north and south poles of the sun have slightly slower. Yeah, so the sun's like a big ball of plasma, but, you know, it is a hydrogen star. There's a lot going on. And again, it gives us life, and it could definitely take life away. But this is a pretty good piece of instructional clip that you could use to bring yourself up to date on what the sun is. You know, a lot of us take it for granted. And this last one here, solar active regions, sunspots, and this UV image. And this is of some really magnificent plasma loops. And it goes into detail, and it tells you about the electricity and the electromagnetics on the sun. It's really, really interesting. It talks about these sunspots that kind of look like a sunflower, doesn't it? But these are very, very active regions on the sun. And when you're looking deep into that black area, you're looking inside of the sun. And it's pretty spectacular. It's interesting. And it's definitely worth learning about. No doubt about it. Oh, now, real quick here, peeps. Let's jump into this for a second. Do 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 do. Give me 1 second. Do.
Makes not a whole lot.
Now, I'm going to go back over here. Madam Mystic Watcher. And like I said in the very beginning of this broadcast, I wanted to talk about a few other people that are in the truth movement. And I'm going to go ahead and grab that link. And Madam Mystic Watcher Views. She's been doing some pretty good videos. And I've seen her in my live chat a few times. And, you know, she's given me some props out there, and I wanted to pay that back. I've subscribed to her YouTube channel, and she's looking to grow her channel. And as you can see, she just uploaded a video 6 hours ago, plaguing humanity, the microchips. A lot of people are interested in that type of research and finding out more about it. What's going on with this Ebola outbreak? She was talking about what Marfugal TV, what Marf was talking about over there on his YouTube channel. And Patriotism Speaks, solar activity. And, you know, she's just getting herself started. So you can see she has 59 subscribers. I have 82,000, but I don't know where the hell they're all at. But anyways, folks, I'm going to put her link to her YouTube channel in the live chat. And do me a favor, subscribe to her YouTube channel. Click on the little black bell up here. Set the notifications. And when she does a periodic video, check it out. Show her some support, because I have faith in this lady. There's not too many people on YouTube that I actually do have faith about. But I think she's doing a really good job. And we're going to put them props out for her. I'm going to put her YouTube channel link in there right now. And forever who catches this video later on in the replay, you have, just type in her name right there into your YouTube search right up there. And you guys can follow her YouTube channel. Now, there's another friend of mine. Lenny Lynn Leoz. You know what? I hear the garbage truck. It's about to pull up in front of my house and I have my window open. Let me close it. Oh. Now, Lynn does a lot with Bible prophecy, end times. Lynn is very religious. I love her to death. I listen to her videos all the time. I have been since, I think 2016. And we do follow each other's YouTube channel. If you guys can do me a favor and jump over there and again, subscribe to Lynn's channel, click on the black bell, set your notifications, and if you like your religion, you're a Christian, or I don't care if you're Muslim or Greek Orthodox or whatever, we all have one God. But Lynn does some pretty good investigative reporting, and as of lately, she's been showing the lighter side of her, and she's a fantastic person, man. I love her to death. We're actually going to be joining up here pretty soon, and we're going to be doing a live stream together, and I'm going to bring her on to Planet X News, and we're going to be talking about the end times, and she's a fantastic person. You really, really should subscribe to her channel. And here's the thing. She's been having a very, very rough time, like certain truthers. I'll put her link in the description box. She's been having a rough time over the last, let's say pretty close to 24 months, like I have on YouTube, is because they've kind of blacklisted us. If you are a real truther and you are touching on subjects and you're producing some really valid information, then you're going to get censored. If you're a YouTube channel like Pastor Paul Begley and some of these other channels that just the end of the world is every day, but you notice they have 200,000-300,000 views on their videos. Why? Because they're talking nonsense. And YouTube's not going to censor them. They're not going to smack them with a nasty algorithm. But if you are talking truth, and it's real truth, yeah, you are going to see the dungeon of YouTube. Plain and simple. And unfortunately for Lynn, she's gone down that road. I've gone down that road. Several of us have gone down that road. Because what we talk about is the truth. YouTube would rather you see nonsense than real life. And if you want a boost in your faith, listen to Lynn. She's been through a lot in her life. And she talks about that. She talks about her own life experiences. She talks about what's being done to her now. And just like I was and still am, and Dr. Albers is, Lynn is a targeted individual on social media. And it's pretty sad. So I'm going to try to help her out with a lot of the things that I know about social media and some ways to get around things and some new techniques that we all really need to start. That's why I started the private network. Yeah, it may cost you $5 or $10 a month, whatever level you want to jump in at. But listen, folks, not only does it help yourself with the information that I put out there, it also helps me maintain all of this. That's another reason why I put together the new email network. It's not all for me. None of it's for me. Remember, that email setup, it's costing me $465 a month. It's coming out of my pocket. I'm not asking any of you to contribute in donations for anything like that. But if you guys do want to contribute, you can go to our private network. The link is in the description box. And if you think that the information that I put out there and Dr. Albers puts out there is worth $5 or $10 a month for a membership to our private network, woo! You go, baby. And I appreciate it. If you guys can't afford it, hey, no problem. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. However, I'm not able to share all of these things on YouTube or Facebook because they strike my YouTube channel constantly. Okay? Over the weekend, I got 2 strikes that came in from YouTube for my content. Now, I appealed both of them, and now I go right after the YouTube creators on Twitter. You can actually get directly to them. You can tweet to them, and they do answer you within an hour. So I said to the one YouTube creator that answered my tweet, I'm like, hey, listen, mother, what's going on with this? And he admitted that it's their algorithm. Yeah. The algorithm that they have attached to my damn YouTube channel. And they have it attached to Lynn's YouTube channel. And sooner or later, other truthers are going to get slammed with this. Hey, I'll tell you this much, folks. Wait till the 2020 election comes up. You wait till we're about 9 months away from that damn election. And you watch and see what YouTube and Facebook and Twitter does. You watch. They're nasty. Instead of playing an even field there, being on the level, they're not on the level, man. That's just plain stupid. Why wouldn't you want the truth getting out there? The truth is being suppressed. The people that are being suppressed are the people that are telling you the truth, educating you, lifting you up. But see, they don't want you lifted up. They want you pushed down. They want to put those government hands on your back and they want to smother you to death. Yes, take a look at how many subscribers Lynn has. Almost 180,000 subscribers. Look, her last couple of videos, 2,200 views, 8,600, 6,300, 5,500. And she does some cool videos. She's been doing these little kitchen videos for the last couple of weeks and, just talking about some normal things and maybe a verse from the Bible and just some good faith. I think it's pretty cool. But you can see 180,000 subscribers and you can't break 10,000, 15,000. She should be getting 60, 70, 80,000 views, 100,000 views. Why? They slapped her with that truther algorithm. So, shoot over there, and if you guys are Christians and you'd like to listen to what she has to say, I would do that. She's been on YouTube for a long time. She has her own ministry, and she is a lady of God, and I enjoy listening to her. See, all of you said, "Oh, you're not religious, Scott. You need to find Jesus." I already know where Jesus is. He's right here in my heart. Just because I don't talk about it all the time doesn't mean that Scott doesn't have faith. All of you know me by now. You know I'm stubborn as hell. Shit. Yeah, but cruise over there. Show your support for Linny Lin. And one more. My man Blue Kool-Aid. Mark, you thought I was going to leave you out, didn't you, buddy? Yeah, I'll never forget you. You're my main man, my bro, my friend. I'm going to put Mark's YouTube channel in there, in the live chat. You guys get on over there and you subscribe to Blue Kool-Aid. Oh, yeah. Mark's not been on YouTube all that much the last 2 weeks. He's been very, very busy with his job. He's got things to do. And he's busting his hump for his family. Very, very respectable. But definitely get over there, subscribe to his YouTube channel. Click on that little black bell, that little notorious bell over there, and that will set up your notifications. I was just watching a YouTube creator video because I'm subscribed to everything that YouTube does, and they're going to be rolling out some more changes between now and October of 2019. A lot of changes. Changes to the look of YouTube, changes to this, changes to that. Every time they do this, it creates problems. And especially problems for people like my channel, Lynn's channel, and Mark's channel. So show your support. If you want to do that, show your support by tuning in to the videos. Give them a thumbs up. Because believe it or not, folks, that stupid little thumbs up thing that YouTube invented years ago, that actually goes into the whole YouTube matrix behind your video. Liking the video, commenting, watching it for 4 or 5 minutes. You know me, I'm long-winded. People bitch and complain, "Oh, your videos are too long." Well, what do you want me to do? Come on here for 5 minutes and say, "Oh, hey, Bob and Nancy, we have problems on the sun. Talk to you later." Yeah. Anyhow, anywho, and anyway, I've given you guys a couple of good truthers here, and I don't do that very often. Okay? I don't do that very often. But I've known Lynn for a long time. I like what she does. She needs the help. And Madam, her YouTube channel name always gives me trouble. Madam M. No, I can't bring it up. Oh, God. I put the link in the description box already. I can't bring it up now. I'd have to go into There she is. Madam AM. I'm sorry. Madam. But, yeah, I'm going to give you guys another link. I'll put her link to her YouTube channel back in the chat for any stragglers that were just falling in here. And get over there and subscribe to her YouTube channel. And leave her a comment in the comment under her latest video. And say, "Hey, Mama, I'm coming over here from Planet X News. How you doing? And, I've been listening to her videos, and she's a smart lady. She's been enlightened, and all of you are also very enlightened. I don't know why each and every one of you aren't on YouTube making videos every single day. Because I know all of you have it in you. You may be shy. You may not be confident. Hey, listen, just get out there, If Pastor Paul Begley could make those nonsense videos and some of these other twits on YouTube, okay? If you guys are watching me, I got all the faith in the world. You guys could get out there. You could start flapping your gums on YouTube and join in with all of us. What I would like to do also in the very near future is I'd like to bring some of these folks on with me, and we could have a 1 hour or a 2 hour live stream, and we could bring Madam Mystic on and Mark, and maybe Lynn can join me, and and we can talk about a few things. I'm also going to be working on developing this call-in feature where, if you guys want to call in, you can call in. We can discuss a few things for about 5 or 10 minutes. We could take some callers. But, I'm not a radio show host, folks, even though I'd probably make a damn good one. Boop, boop, toot my horn. But I want to start hearing from all of you. It does take me quite a long time to read through all of these emails and inbox messages every day. And don't think I ignore you. It's just that I get hit from every single angle 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's why I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to start my day. But anyways, folks, show the support, man. Show the love. I think these folks need it. I think they deserve it. And I appreciate everything that you guys do for me. I appreciate that support. I appreciate the great emails that all of you send me. You trust me, I really do. And the majority of them put smiles on my face. Every now and then I get a rude one. I love the death threats, man. The death threats are great. Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to whack me? Ooh, I'm scared. Ooh, I'd like to get my hands on you. Because you wouldn't be whacking me. Ha! Yeah. Watch now. I'll go jump in my car to head to my shop, and my car will blow up. If you guys don't hear from me later on or tomorrow, yeah. That ain't happening. Don't worry about it. As we say in Italian, forget about it. Yeah, folks. I got to get my ass moving. I got a long, long day today. And what is today? Yeah, Wednesday. It's Wednesday? Yeah. Yeah, it is Wednesday. Okay. Yeah, you may hear from me later on, early evening. I'm going to see what's going on with these active regions on the sun. Definitely something that we need to work on and watch very, very carefully. And as far as this new email program, it's working great now. And for all of you that do sign up for our email updates, the link's in the description box under the video. Same thing for our private network. And use your Gmail. Okay? If you're listening to me now on the boob tube and you're able to comment, that means that you're signed in with your Gmail account. The Gmail seems to be working perfectly fine. Nobody has any issues with it. So here's my word of wisdom. Use your Gmail account. Sign up for our email notifications with your Gmail. A few minutes later, open your Gmail account up. Look for the confirmation email. The confirmation email. When you get the confirmation email, open it. And whenever you open it, you'll see a button. It's blue. Click on the button that says confirm your subscription. and then you're done, folks. And then check your email once a day. I only send out one blast for an email. It may be in relation to articles that have gone up on the Planet X News website, and this is another way that I'm able to get some good articles out there to all of you. I will include those in the email blast. And here was the info for California and Nevada, hit by 240 earthquakes in 24 hours. Yeah, now they're all small earthquakes, as we saw, but yeah. Here was a good article that I investigated the other day. More shoreline flooding in Canada expected as Lake Ontario sets new records for flooding. And another volcano in Indonesia blows ash 3,000 meters in the air. This was a pretty good article that I love to delve into UFOs. I mean, I believe in extraterrestrials. Maybe you guys don't, but I do. I've seen one. I've seen many. But this was an interesting article that I went back and researched. And this was the day UFOs buzzed the White House in 1952. And they tried to cover it up. But the photographic evidence, way too much. So you might enjoy that article. There was another article here that I did about impossible cosmic rays shooting out from the Antarctic. Yeah, that's not supposed to happen. And it's confused the living hell out of scientists, because cosmic rays are supposed to come from space and the sun and hit the earth. They're not supposed to come out of our South Pole. What the hell's going on down there in the Antarctic? And we all know there's alien bases down there hidden in the ice. And just like David Wilcock said a year ago, they will start to slowly divulge this information. And what are they doing? They're doing just that. The leaks are coming out. They're hitting the mainstream media. Oh, yeah. Yep. And another article there you see right here. Climate change is already affecting global food supplies. We've been talking about this, folks. And I talked about this back in February. And I even said, if the farm belt gets hit hard, they're not going to be able to plant crops. If they can't plant crops, things don't grow. If things don't grow, woo, we got to get them from somewhere else. And that somewhere else is going to be Mexico. And we already have this huge immigration issue going on back and forth. And now President Trump wants to slap tariffs on Mexico because Mexico doesn't want to do anything about this heavy flow of people coming from Central America in through Mexico and into the United States. And just the other day, a huge swath of people from Africa, in different countries in Africa, poured into and over the U.S. border. Man, the last I seen, we were separated from the continent of Africa over to South America and Mexico by a big damn ocean. How the hell are they getting over from Africa, from the Congo and Zimbabwe and all these other countries over to Mexico or Central America? And on top of that, folks, you know, nothing against anybody's race or where they come from, but disease is now running rampant. Okay? All over LA, San Diego, in different parts of Texas. Typhoid, just very, very nasty situations. That is a reason why we have immigration. You know, you come to this country and you have 1 million people that just flooded the border, And out of those million people, let's just say one had a disease that was contagious and spreads, or viruses. What happens? You now bring that into the United States, and more and more and more and more people are going to be infected. Is this some sort of grand plan? You bet your ass it is. This isn't just happening naturally. Something is at play. No doubt about it. I don't delve too much into politics, even though in my day-to-day, I do run the MFA Media Group website, and it's pretty much 90% all politics. I see everything. And I write anywhere from 5 to 10 articles a day for that website. And I see what's going on. And I think there is a much more evil plan behind this immigration thing. I think there's a very, very high possibility in the very, very near future that large portions of South America and Central America are going to be wiped out. Uninhabitable. And maybe they're saving these people in a roundabout way, or trying to save as many as possible by bringing them here to the United States. I don't know, folks. You know, there's just some parts of that conspiracy that we just don't know about yet. And that's not a conspiracy. That's the damn truth. And Planet X and these objects that are orbiting our sun and wreaking havoc with our sun, it's not a conspiracy. It's the truth. Plain and simple. Sad to say. But it is the world that we are living in right now, today. So anyways, folks, I'm going to hit the road. I have a very, very busy day today. You may hear from me later on this evening. But, the few folks that I put out there today, hit those YouTube channels up. Go to their latest video and watch a few minutes of it. Leave them a comment and tell them, Planet X News sent me over. I'm here from Planet X News. How are you? Just lending some support. Let them know you're there. You know, just because you go over and hit the subscribe button, what are you? You're nothing but a number. Not us over here, baby. We're not just numbers here at Planet X News. We have an identity. People know who we are. Let them know. And support these folks. And again, folks, if you'd like to support Planet X News in any way, join our private membership. Trust me, you won't forget it. There's a ton of information that goes up every single day. Let's put it this way. That new site, they've actually limited me to 11 posts per day. So there's quite a bit up there, and you will be notified of my posts via email. So I think the whole email thing is working out just great. It allows you to check on these things at your leisure. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, folks, I'm going to jump on out of here, and I'm going to go get my butt to work and get a few things done there at the shop, and then I'm going to come home, and I'm going to keep an eye on what's happening out there on our sun. Sign up for those email notifications. Somebody left me a pretty rude comment about that. They're like, oh, Scott's making all kinds of money off of your email. Somebody asked me, how much does it cost? It doesn't cost anything. It's free. And I'm not making a dime off of your email address. I'm spending my own money, you fool. I hate when people leave those idiotic comments. See, that's why you get blocked. Then you got to go over and you got to subscribe to WSO. Yeah. Listen, folks, once again, show your support for the people that I put out there today. Jump over to their YouTube channels. Leave a comment. Let them know where you came from. We need to start supporting each other in any way that we can. Team effort, baby. That's all I got to say. But listen, folks, I'm out of here. Enjoy your day. Watch out for your weather. There's going to be some nasty weather moving up through, once again, central part of the United States, drifting eastward. They're still undergoing some tremendous heat in the south and over in different parts of Southern California. Temperatures in the next couple of days all reaching about 100 or above. So, watch your weather. And I'm out of here. This is Scott from Planet X News. Thank you for your support. Thank you for spending your morning with me. Take care, folks. Be safe out there.